All right, mate. So, yeah, is the yearly high in? Yeah, and also you've not been keeping up with BTC the past few months. I think everybody's been in the same boat, to be honest, because look at this chop. This is a mess. So we are now at an inflection point. Like, it needs to move now. If this move fails, we are going a lot lower. So if this tries to, like, see here, this is where you look to short. Let me just do this. So a pierce above here is where, if this fails, that's when BTC tanks. Okay, so this is a bear flag pattern in theory, but bear flag patterns can BART back up. But in bear flag patterns, you want to be shorting either just below the first high or just above the first high. Now, at this point, we'll have to go with above the first high, for the reason being that this is quite a choppy base, and sometimes it can cause that up movement. Let's look for examples. Well, there's an example right there. It's not the greatest example in the world, but you can see that the bear flag. Look at this bear flag pattern right here. Right there, and you can see the first high, price pierced above it, the second high, and then we roll over. It's not the greatest example, but that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. And here's another one here. Look at this. This is identical, actually. Now let's compare this one to the recent action. Okay. Now you can see, I didn't draw that very straight, but you get what I'm trying to do. So the short above the first high, right up there. These buttons aren't working today for some reason. You can see the wick down below. You can see the very, very, very choppy period. You can see the big move down, the wick below, the pop up, the choppy period, the fake out here, and then the roll over. Let me just take a snip of this just for now, and let's move back. And now this is slightly different. Now there's a couple of things I want to go into in a minute. How could we turn bullish? It is possible, but can we fit that in there? Maybe I'm not fitting that in properly. I'll have to move that over a bit. Just want to quickly compare both of these, so you can kind of see. Here you get the big drop, you get the wick below, you get the big drop, you get the wick below, you get the consolidation base, you get the big powerful move up, and it actually starts to fail up above the first high. Okay, so that is what we need to be on guard for, what we need to be aware of, and that is potentially the failure point at this point. If we were truly bearish, that's the failure point, and that's the point you want to be shorting. Okay, so I will look at the bullish side in a minute, but you can also see that this is a neckline retest. Look at this neckline breakdown, head and shoulders breakdown, retest up into this level before we're going lower in a bear flag pattern with compression on these moving averages. So it's a big level. That breaks down, then we'd automatically be targeting the red 200 moving average area right in there, which is also the cluster, which is also the top back here. Okay, so that would, or 25,000 area, I would say first. I just shared some of these screenshots here, and I will share the video now in a minute. So the bullish side of things is something that hasn't sat really well with me the entire time. Now, don't get me wrong, we are red on the 3 month, we're red on the monthly, red on 9 week. This 9 week here is not your usual topping candle, right? It's not usually. Can it be? Yes, but there's something pretty impressive about pushing up and getting above this yellow 9 EMA, and if we do consolidate here, well, you know, can we do something like this on a new 9 week? It looks like at this point we are in a consolidation mode. Now we have 1 month and 17 days left in this 9 week candle, but this to me does not look like a topping candle in this sort of move up. You can see up here there's an important neckline up there where the closes and opens happened right up here. So you're asking, is the yearly high in? And I did mention that I think BTC is mostly done for the year and expect a more choppy year. Now I did say that, but I am open to, this potentially being stronger than people think. I do like what you've posted. Let's go back up here. You posted something like back here, and that's exactly what something like I posted in my previous videos. So something like that is very, very possible. Yes, we cannot rule that out. We need to see on a new 6-month candle, and that is also 1 month. Where is that? There, 1 month and 8 days left, and that so it is very, very possible that we just create something very, very similar like this. But I'm just saying that 9-week candle has me a little bit feeling like on a new 9-week there is the sorry, I said that wrong. The 9-week candle here has me feeling like on a new 6-month we may see more upside. We may surprise everybody. It's not really surprised me, to be honest. I love the way that we've got back above the yellow 9 EMA here so far. I just don't think that this is definitely a topping candle. I'm open to, on a new 6-month candle, which is also around the same time as a new 9-week candle, that we can actually go higher. And a lot of people are probably shocked and frustrated or whatever, but there's a big neckline, a proper important neckline there. To me that looks like a 50%. Is it a 50% retrace? I didn't even draw that properly. Oh, that's only a 38% retrace. Okay, so a Pearson to here would be a 38% retrace. So that would be a big, big level. $36,000 is a big, big level. I don't see anything happening this month because this month is red, right? So if we're going to happen, it's going to be on a new monthly candle, or maybe even in 2 monthly candles. Not next month, but the following month, which is a new 6 months. So what I'm saying is, you're asking, is the yearly high in? There's a good chance it's in, but I will not be surprised if we go higher. One thing I'll just point out here, now this is not gospel, but you can see that we got topping volume, right? And then you get bottoming volume. Then you get, well, after bottoming volume, you get topping volume, okay? You get topping volume, you get this, you get bottoming volume, okay? And where else? Well, you got topping volume here. What happened here? You get bottoming volume. What happens after you get bottoming volume? Well, you wait until you get topping volume, okay? Where was topping volume? Now, it was not the very, very top, but if you had sold up here at $42,000, you would do okay. Now, a lot of times you can look to sell above capitulation, meaning that you would be looking to find a top in Bitcoin above this volume right here, and that's exactly what happened. Well, I mean, we had one or two more months to the upside, to be fair, but the top was above this volume here, which was a warning sign for everybody. We talked about that in the group many times, but it did go quite a distance, above 50% or whatever above that volume. I suppose that's what can happen in parabolic moves, but I'm getting sidetracked there on that. So what happens after you get this? Well, you can get a bottoming volume, okay, and we did kind of get bottoming volume here, to be fair, and that move bounced us right back up. Now this one we didn't get topping volume, but we did have topping volume here, to be fair. And where do we get bottoming volume? We got bottoming volume here, right? We got bottoming volume here. Volume is declining. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was huge volume here breaking out, and this sort of volume here is more declining. But what I'm saying is, we do not have any topping volume here, right? Did we get topping volume here yet? No, volume is actually very low. So what I'm saying is, it may mean that this trend is in full flow to the upside until we get our topping volume. Until we get one of these high green volumes. You can see high green volume at the top, high green volume close to the top. It wasn't quite the top. So it's just something to keep in mind. We do not have high volume to indicate a potential top. Now again, this BitMEX funding is not gospel, okay? It's not gospel. Back here, this funding was crazy, but we did get a huge spike here. See this largest spike? You can see it's larger than any of this stuff here. We did have a large spike here at the very bottom of the market. Okay, we did have a very large spike at the top of the market. Now there was one early, and then we got obviously two more at the very top. This was maybe a warning sign that we're getting close to the top, but we did go further and go up here. This one also created a large spike up here, which was the top before the crash. The crash created a spike right down here. Where's the, so you can see the very top of the market here. Look at the very top of the market. You know, almost to the day, right in here at 60 something K, that we got the spike in funding, right? We got that spike in funding right there at the very top of the market. So volume did not, actual real volume did not, as you can see here, volume didn't create the very top of the market, but there was a capitulation on funding which caused the top of the market. So it's good to keep in mind, if we're not getting it on here, you need to be watching funding. Okay, down here also you can see there's a spike at the very bottom. It caused the run up to the top, and then there was actually a spike here when we got up, and there was a bearish stop hunt. But this is almost like a bearish divergence in funding. You can see that funding obviously went way lower, but price actually went higher to new highs, which is a bearish divergence on the funding. So there was signs right there. Now another thing here, it's not quite, but you can see it's kind of a double bottom here and here. This is the Luna crash. This is FTX crash. Sorry, yeah, I got it now. This is the Luna crash right here. So the Luna crash happened right here in May, and then the FTX crash happened right down here in November, right down here to cause the bottom. But you can see the funding. We had a spike in funding to signify the very bottom of the market. Now this was also a spike on the very bottom. That was the banking crisis spike. Now if you had seen the spike in the funding to the downside, you could then have bought Bitcoin and had a 50% upside as well. So if we do not see clues in the volume, we may find the clues in funding. So it's good to combine your volume and your funding. Now for anybody that doesn't know, this is the BitMEX funding and premium index. This guy, Neobutane or something, whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but wrong thing. So and also look at the volume. We got the volume. If you remember, we got the volume, which was also a pierce below here, right down in here, and we actually got a spike below. This was the largest selling volume in Bitcoin's history from memory, on certain time frames, maybe it's a weekly time frame, and we actually bullish stop hunted. What do you do below the large capitulation volume? Well, I'll leave it there.